All right, everybody. I wanted to jump on and do a quick video about some news that was dumped by the media unceremoniously on Friday, the old Friday news dump. And you know that they do that when they do not want you to know what's going on, and it's usually something that's pretty important. And this certainly fits the bill. So we have the we have this great picture, the potato in chief, and Winnie the Pooh here. And what's important about this is you hear a lot of the mainstream media pundits. And look, I've been a skeptic too when you hear like the whole BRICS thing about how they're adopting a gold backed currency tomorrow. I don't doubt that they would like to do something of the sort in the BRICS. I just think there's a lot of distrust amongst those nations as well. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but I do know for a fact that the distrust that those countries might have amongst themselves are either equally as strong, if not stronger, than with the United States of America. And they do not want to be exposed to the US dollar. As much as the US dollar is embedded as the reserve currency of the world, as the petrodollar, as the aircraft carrier dollar, as much as it's embedded in the SWIFT system, nobody wants to be in the dollar anymore. And you have Friday news dump. This is MSN. This isn't some shenanigans website. China offloads 53 billion in U.S. Treasuries, an unprecedented move that sends strong message to the potato at the White House. China has set a new record by selling 50. It set a new record. So they're like more. Get this out of here. China has set a new record by selling 53.3 billion of treasuries and U.S. agency bonds in the first quarter of this year. This action highlights China's strategy to diversify its financial portfolio away from American assets, amidst ongoing trade tensions between the two nations. Look, when Donald Trump was our president, there were trade tensions between the two nations, but that was Donald Trump saying, hey, you guys are not playing fairly. This needs to be a level playing field here. And now it's just chaos. Now it's just chaos. There's conflict. Everybody who said that Donald Trump was going to start World War III are now exactly the same people who are starting World War III. And starting World War III at multiple different levels: economically, kinetically, through the information airwaves. The war is being fought on so many different fronts, and it is most definitely being fought. So, and here we are, the Chinese, and just stop and think for a couple of moments. These are reserves. Now, did China offload these treasuries because of issues in their own economies that they need to shore up? Potentially, I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, the Chinese real estate market, the way that thing is coming apart at the seams, the way that there's no cost, there's no true price discovery that's happening there. I have no doubt that they could potentially need the billions out of treasuries and into yuan to do what have you. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they take those dollars and turn it into gold at the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Why wouldn't they? The whole thing about the gold dumped what, about $105 or whatever on the news that China had stopped buying gold in May. Well, they're one of the largest gold producers in the world, so if they decide that they do not want to buy gold and announce it to the rest of the world for a month and they don't sell any gold, I don't understand how that's really all that impactful. And I wish I could remember who said it. somebody I was listening to recently. It might have been John Rubino. No, it was Lobo Tigre. Lobo Tigre again. Lobo Tigre. Lobo Tigre is the gentleman, and certainly credit where credit's due. Lobo Tigre is the person who I saw this tweet and the MSN article, and he had said recently that if we're trusting the red point, but 53.3 billion U.S. Treasuries offloaded. China is now, and I had pulled this up a minute ago. I accidentally closed out of it, but I mean you can double check my math on this. I thought that China had been at right around $1 billion in Treasury holdings. I was off a little bit on that. They had been at about 950, and now they're down to just under 900 billion in Treasury holdings, which also, like, it really makes you raise an eyebrow a little bit when you hear the old saying from our Congress critters. These are usually from the neocons, when you see them trying to stand up for fiscal responsibility. They'll be all talking about how, oh, you're saying we need to borrow money from China in order to pay for this and this. It's like, look, China's done paying for China is done paying for the shit. China's done paying for the shit. That's clear. China don't want to pay for the shit no more. And what are we going to do when China decides to stop paying for the shit, and all of that additional that $1 trillion in treasuries comes back home to roost? What is that going to do to the inflation rate, which is clearly much higher than they're reporting, which is already much higher than it should be? And even at 2%, that's much higher than it should be. There should be no inflation. Underestimate their ability to keep the rig game going. So I'm going to go ahead and end with that. I think it's important. If somebody happens to see this, sitting around on a Saturday night, I know there's probably not a lot going on YouTube on a Saturday night when I get this out. If you happen to see the title and you're like, hey, what the hell's going on with China offloading treasuries? And here you like what's going on. My name's Christopher Bruno. Hit the subscribe button if you could. It definitely helps a lot. Thumbs up. Maybe shoot a comment down there. I greatly appreciate it, and I will definitely see you in the next video.